Hi, today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about creating a Word document, but first I suggest that you scroll to the bottom of the screen so you can see what I'm doing. I'm clicking on my Start menu, and I'm going to pull up Microsoft Word 2010, and I have it pinned in my Start menu right here, but I'm going to go to All Programs just to show you where to find it. You would scroll until you see the Microsoft Office. Click on it and then scroll till you see Microsoft Word 2010. Click on it. I'm going to make this full screen. Now you can scroll back to the top so you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just going to talk a little bit about the Home tab right now. On the Home tab you have a clipboard which you can paste things off of if you copy it from someplace else and then paste it into your document. You can choose if you want bold lettering, italic lettering. You can also underline the lettering. You can choose which fonts you would like to use. I'm just going to stick with the default font of Cambry. You can also change the size of the font, which I'm going to just leave at 11. You can change the colors, which it automatically sets to black. I'm going to stay with that. There's also bullets, different styles of bullets. These are just your general bullets. You know, squares, circles, check marks. There's a variety of them. Or you can choose no bullets, and once that was the first option on the other one as well. You can choose numbers with periods, numbers with parentheses, or Roman numerals, letters with periods, lowercase letters with parentheses, lowercase letters with periods. Again, small Roman numerals with periods behind them. You can also choose where they cascade, and you can have it jump back and forth with your numbers and your letters if you need to. And there's just different options or ways to set them up. Here is the bullets that you saw in the first options with them cascading as well. Okay, and you can also align your text left, align your text centered, or align your text right, or you can justify it. And when you justify it, it just makes it look, it spaces out the words so that they look just right and take up as much space as possible on each line, so they all look pretty much the same. You can also change your theme colors here. You can choose if you want to have borders, and there's bottom borders, top borders, there's lots of borders. You can choose different ones. You can choose grid lines. And here are the styles. You know, there's a title setting, there's a heading 1, heading 2, no spaces, normal spacing, subtitles. Those are just a few options. You can also change the style sets to different things that you would like. You can also change the colors. You can also change, again, you can change your font here too, and it's got it's just looking at the themes once again. You can change paragraph spacing, which you can also do here by clicking on that little arrow there. And you'll notice each of these excuse me, each of these boxes has this, so you can pull up a box that breaks it down maybe a little easier for you. And that's all I've got to say about the Home tab. Thank you. Now we're going to talk a little bit about the page layout tab. And you can see there's lots of different tabs across the top of here. Click on your page layout tab, and it'll once again, you can change themes here, and you know, it shows a variety of different themes, same as it did on the Home tab. And you can also, it also changes colors, fonts, and effects. Here's different effects that you can choose. I'm not going to pick one right now, but you can change the margins of your page by clicking on this little arrow right here, and it'll pull up your margins menu, and you can set how you want it. You can have last custom setting, normal setting, which it automatically defaults to, narrow, which is ½ an inch all the way around, moderate, which is 1 inch at the top and the bottom and 3/4 of an inch the left and the right, or you can choose wide, which I'm not sure what you'd use that for. I've never used this. Most of the time I use the normal setting or the custom settings. You can also choose the way you want your page to be done. If you want it to be portrait, which is the way I have it now, or you can change it to layout, which would be from side to side. I'm going to change it back to portrait. I just changed it to layout so you could see how that looks. You can change the size of the paper that you're going to use it on. You can set it for envelopes, and there's different size envelopes, and those are what you have to choose from. You can also create labels, and there's lots of different sizes. It just depends on what you're going to use it for. I'm just going to leave it the way it is. You can set it to have just one column, or you can set the page up with several columns. You can set it so you have a wider, just two columns, with the one on the left being more narrow, or vice versa on the right. There are also more column options. You just have to click on more columns, and then it'll bring up this menu, and you can set the column number here, choose the width and the spacing. I'm just going to leave it the way it is right now because I'm just telling you a little bit about it. You can set page breaks, and when setting page breaks, if you're using more than one column, or you're creating say a newsletter or something where you have more than one column, you can set it to automatically end at the end of your paragraph. Say you're starting a new article and that's what this setting is for. And that's another way to set page breaks, but you can also set them to end like not quite at the bottom of your page for whatever reason. And see how there's two columns in the middle of this? You can set it so it will go from this one to this one, and then you can go back to your regular layout. There's lots of different options there. You can explore those. You can have line numbers, which it automatically defaults to none. You can set it for continuous, restart each page, restart each section. It just depends on what you want to use. And there's also line numbering options, which if you click here, you can set those in here. And your headers and footers, as you can see. You can also place a watermark on your document. And these are just some examples. You can also choose more watermarks, and you can click on this and it'll take you to the internet. You can make your own watermarks. You can decide later you want to remove them instead of using them. You can change your page colors here, which it automatically defaults to no color. If you choose more colors, it pulls this up and you just click where you want. Where you say you want this color, you just click on there. But I'm going to leave it. You can also choose borders for your page. You can choose no border, which is the default. You can choose a box border. You can choose shadows, 3D effect, or custom. And if you choose custom, it gets a little complicated, so we'll get into that at a later time. You can choose shading too. And you can also set your margins or your indentions right here on the right and the left. You can choose your spacing before and after paragraphs, and you can select different panes. You can choose an alignment, and I'm just going to leave everything the way it is, and this was just a quick overview of the page layout tab. Thank you.